explain a little bit about yung pong tinatawag nating monopoly at monopsony. At kung titingnan po natin ang ating pong Webster Dictionary, at titingnan po natin yung ating pong mga Google, makikita po natin yung monopolistic dyan. Ang ibig po sabihin ng monopolistic ay yung pong seller ay control niya yung buyer. In this case, ang Meralco po, hindi lamang po siya distribution utility, Mr. Speaker. Siya rin po ay buyer ng mga kuryente. Siya po ay kinoconsider din po natin siya na nagmamay-ari din ng ating pong mga power generators. As a matter of fact, this is being allowed by Section 45 under Republic Act 9135, yung ating pong tinatawag na EPIRA Law, yung pong cross-section. We allowed it. At ang tanong, paano naging control ng mga seller o nagbebenta ng kuryente ang Meralco bilang siya po ay buyer ng kuryente? Because we allow the affiliation, we allow na kung saan po ay nakakapagbigay siya ng equity sa mga nagbebenta ng kuryente, thereby constituting a monopolistic attitude. Alam nyo, Mr. Speaker, sa lahat po ng ating pong mga nagbebenta ng kuryente, ay sasabihin po ng Meralco, aba, kami nagdumadaan sa competitive selection process. Meron kami tinatawag na power supply agreement. But we all know that there is a connivance between the Energy Regulatory Commission and the Meralco. And later on, Mr. Speaker, I will prove that there is a connivance between Energy Regulatory Commission and Meralco. But for the meantime, allow me to speak about what is monopsony. Kung sa monopoly, ang buyer ay nakokontrol ng seller, sa monopsony naman po, ang buyer, nakokontrol niya ang mga seller. Sandali, Congressman, para atang hindi ata nagtutugma yan. Di ba? Parang, bakit naman nakokontrol ng Meralco ang mga seller? Dahil ang Meralco po, sila po nagko-contribute ng ating distribution ng ating electricity output, 70% ng buong Luzon. They control the whole of Metro Manila, NCR. They control the whole of the Calabarzon, including my province, Laguna. They control Pampanga at Bulacan. They are so huge and enormous that they have subdivided the whole franchise. They subdivided it into central, southern, and northern sector. Dahil napakalaki na po ng prangkisa ng Meralco, they cannot even operate and configuratively operate the whole franchise. Ang iniiwasan po nila ay magkaroon ng disturbance sa isang area at magkaroon ng blackout sa buong Luzon. Remember, Mr. Speaker, 60% of our GDP lies in NCR. Dito sa Luzon, 60% ang ating GDP. Control ng Meralco ang ating economic growth. Isang board of director ang nagko-control. Now, Mr. Speaker, sila po ay monopolistic. Sila po ay monosopnic. And I heard that the Metro Pacific Investment Corporation is in the process of acquiring the biggest, the largest natural gas power plant in Ilihan, Batangas, at 2,500 megawatts combined cycle natural gas. Kapag binili na po ng Meralco, which is being owned by MPIC, ang asset ng Meralco at ang Ilihan Power Plant, pag pinagsama mo ang dalawang ito, they will be creating a vertical integration system wherein they will be controlling the fuel supply, the fuel facility, imported fuel facilities, the power supply, and distribution under one board of directors. This concern our national security because they are so huge and enormous, no? Ang laki-laki na po nila that are even now expanding. And it entails our national security, Mr. Speaker. Alam nyo, nakakalungkot na isipin, Mr. Speaker. that we created a monster out of them. Mr. Speaker, ang kongresong ito ay naging party po ng pagbuo ng super franchise. In accordance with Republic Act 9513, we created a super franchise for them. And the power of this Congress is to amend, to revoke, to suspend, and even subdivide their franchise. And may I remind the Meralco, the Metro Pacific Investment Corporation, before they plan to acquire the Ilihan Power Plant, $700 million po ang Ilihan Power Plant. Bilyong-bilyong piso po ang halaga para bibili nila ang Ilihan Power Plant. Bago nila bigli ng Ilihan Power Plant, Mr. Speaker, ibalik po muna nila ang perang sobrang siningil nila sa 7.6 million subscribers dito sa Luzon sapagkat hindi po nila kinompute ang kanilang weighted average cost of capital na nung isang taon tumayo ko, the same place, the same spot where I injected that they have not computed, never, mula 2015 hanggang sa pagkakataong ito, hindi nila kinompute ang kanilang weighted average cost of capital na kung saan 14.97% ang kinocompute nila. Yun ang percentage ng kanilang profit na pinagbabasihan na kinompute pa nila noong 2010. And in accordance to the rules of wheeling rates of distribution utility ng ERC, ang sabi ng ERC ng kanilang batas, kada 4 na taon, i-compute natin ang pinagkakakitaan ng Meralco sapagkat nung panahon na kinompute po nila ang weighted average cost of capital noong 2010, all the parameters, the indicators, the risk rate ng bansa, ang interest rate ng bangko, ang regulatory asset base, ang kanilang depreciation, lahat po yan ay matataas during that time because we have an Asian crisis during that time. And thereby constituting a higher weighted average cost of capital. Dumating po ang 2011, 2012, 2013, 2014, hanggang 2015 na lang po yan eh. Sabi ng batas, ng rules ng ng ERC eh. Ha? Meralco, with the connivance of ERC, they never computed. Mula nung 2015 hanggang ngayon, hindi pa rin po nagko-compute ang ERC. And in accordance with the Asian crisis nung 2010, nung 2014, 2015, wala na po tayong financial crisis. And all the interest rate, ang risk rate ng bansa, ang financial requirements nila, mga indicators are telling that the weighted average cost of capital is so low. So ano ginawa ng ERC at ang Meralco? They connive. Dahil pag nag-compute sila ng mga panahon ng 2014, bababa ang weighted average of cost of capital. As a matter of fact, I challenge each and every one of you. Tingnan po natin ang WACC ng Meralco today. Dahil sila po ay publicly listed office, they are being externally audited. Nakalabas po dyan kung magkano ang profit nila. At lalabas dyan, tingnan po natin ang WACC ng Meralco today sa Google. 9.23% ang kanilang WACC. Ngayon, 9.62% ang kanilang WACC. At sinisingil nila tayo sa 14.97% mula noong 2015 hanggang ngayon. Hindi makatarungan yan sa ating pong 7.6 million Pilipinos na siningil nila ng sobra-sobra mula ng 2015